Armand from Victron. So today's presentation will be a training on Victron products. So I'm just going to run you through the IBC portfolio quickly, just the online shop. If there's anybody that can't see my screen, just let me know. All right, let's get going. Just a quick reminder for those of you who don't know, there is a voucher code for this month. It's on a combination of modules, inverters, and storage, and you'll receive a 2% discount when placing the order, and it's solutions up to 15 kilowatts, and that code is 2SPRING. You need to use that code at your checkout before you check out. Please make sure that you do it before checkout because it can't be done afterwards. Just a introduction into this IBC portal. So if you're logged into the shop, you'll see there on the top, you've got the portal button. You click on portal, it will take you to your landing page, which will look like this. And from here, you can go to the various different places within the portal. We'll start with the price list information. If you click on the tab for price list information, it takes you to this page where you can download the Excel sheet of the price list. And then there's also a ZAR and a USD price list that you can take a look at if you don't want to go through the shop. Then moving on to the online shop tab, if you click on that, it will take you into your online shop. At the top here, you've got a tab with the different categories. You've got your modules, your inverters, storage, mounting systems, accessories, e-mobility, items that are on sale, our promotional items, and the services that IBC also offers. And then there is also a tab with the brands that we have, so you can go and select the brand specifically from here instead of going through the item categories. Then if we take a look at My Documents, which will be a bit further down on the page, My Documents will take you to your open orders, your outstanding invoices, last deliveries, as well as an overview on your invoices. At the top of the page there, you can also go and see your user data, your shipping address. You can amend the data here, and then your documents brings you down to the orders again, any coupons that you've got available, and then you can save shopping carts. So items that you regularly buy from IBC, you can save them in a shopping cart. So then it's just a click of a button and everything gets added to your cart and express checkout. So once you go and click on the item that you are looking at, it will open up the item page like this. So we're looking at the Victron Multiplus 2, the 5 kilowatt unit. Gives you a brief overview of the unit, the dimensions. On this specific item, we've got the charging current, continuous power, as well as the price. And then you'll see there on the right-hand side, we've got a scaled pricing depending on the number of units that you purchase, 1, 3, and 6 on this item. And then the unit price is your unit price based on your discount level. Further down on the page, you've also got the downloads. So this is generally data sheets, installation manuals, certification, and things like that. Very handy just to go and view. And if you're putting together a quote, you can go and check if you're putting together the right items for your clients. And then you've also got the item availability, so you can see how many pieces are currently in stock and what the expected stock levels will be in the following week and weeks leading after that. Once you go to your shopping cart, you've got two buttons. You can request a quote, which will create a quote on our end, or you can go straight to continue, and that will then open the order. So that will place the order with us. Once you get the confirmation mail from your sales manager that the stock is available, then you can make payment for your order. And then here's just a summary of the order breakdown, if there's any shipping costs, and then also a ex-VAT and inclusive of VAT price. Then back to the landing page, we've got PV Manager. So anybody that's used things like Helioscope or PV Syst, PV Manager is an IBC in-house software, and it is really quite in-depth. It's our in-house design software that's also linked to your online store. So once you've done your PV design, it will give you a bit of materials at the end, which will go straight to your store. And again, it's just a click of a button to place that order. You can purchase a license from us to use PV Manager, and that is a yearly license. Then the technical services that IBC offers, So we've got commissioning services, we've got on-site services as well, and then we also have remote commissioning services as well. We can do single line diagrams and assist with system design. And then order management. So this is similar to my documents that we covered earlier. So this will just tell you what your confirmed orders are, if there are any open invoices that still need to be paid, recent shipments that have gone out, and an overview of previous orders. And then we also offer financing options. So we have a 30-day payment term as well. And then there is a 6-month repayment period through Lula Pay that you can also explore. And that's it from my side. Just a reminder that voucher code for the 2% discount on the hybrid system with modules and battery, that is 2Spring. All right, Armand, I think when you are ready, you can then take over.
Good morning, all. I just muted myself, and I'm just going to show you guys how I look. I think most of the guys know how I look. So then I want to put the camera off again, just due to the signal. I see my signal's quite bad, but hopefully it recovers. Morning, all. So there's no agenda for this training. It's just basically the info that you guys want. So let's touch base on all the equipment that you guys want to see online. And yeah, all the equipment and where you can get all the technical detail from. And then I'll touch base on the basic programming functionalities, where to download, and then start with the programming. And then from there, I think the next training will go more in depth. So we'll do the programming, do general flag, do ESS, and then AC coupled systems. I did mention AC coupled, how to set it up on ESS. I'll do that today. But to go more in advance, we'll do that in the next training. Everybody comfortable? You can just, if you have questions, Kyle, normally how we do it in the chat. Well, obviously, there'll be multiple questions. Then you can answer the questions I do. Guys comfortable with that?
Yep, that's fine for us.
All right, perfect. So basically, what you can do, I'm going to quickly share my screen. First, can you all see my screen? Carl, can you see my screen?
Just waiting for it to load. There we go.
Got it.
Yep, good.
Okay, so first website's Victron Energy. Go to Google Victron Energy in your browser. You'll get all the information to your of Victron. So where to buy, obviously IBC, information, support, blog, contact, and login. So you can register. Everything's free of charge. Products, all your products will be displayed here. So if you click on inverter charger, or the on the inverter charger, I see my internet's very slow. Inverter chargers, you can go, if you want to go onto the multi-RS or the easy solars, you can click on it, and it will have all the information, the spec sheets, the manuals, everything will be here. So you can download all the information that you require from Victron Energy. Right. So with all the technical certificates, as you know, the multi-plus 5s, the 8s, and the 10s are all COCT anymore. If you have a Victron inverter installed, they're comfortable to sign it off. I did get an email from Rainer van der Riet, and it will be, Victron will be on the approved list before the end of September. So that problems are also resolved. Right. So on this, on your products, everything's there. Markets, you'll see the professional vehicle, in this industrial, marine, mobility. All the information will also be here. So if you click on marine, information on all the installs. Wi-Fi. Let me just hotspot my phone. Carl, can you hear me?
I can, but you are breaking up a bit.
Just hold on, sorry. Better.
Yep, let's see how it is.
Yeah, hopefully it's better. I shouldn't phone my ISP. So all the information will be at the bottom. You'll get all the software, the brochures, the data sheets, manual system schematics, technical information. On the technical information, you'll get them all the latest technical information will be most probably at the bottom side. So everything is here with batteries, with the type A, type B batteries, the Hex protocol, MPPTs. All the information will be on the technical. So we don't have time to go through all the information here today, but yeah, we'll have in-depth training on the technical side. Certificates will also be on the downloads. Then the big thing on the downloads is the V configuration tool. So if you want to do programming via MK2, you need to download the V configuration tool. Irrespective if you want to do the programming via MK3 or Victron Connect, you still need the MK3 unit or the module to do the programming. The Victron Connect programming, it's the most easiest and most common way to program these days, but you are limited to assistance software and assistance on to broader your installation or your parameters. So first, 3 ways to do the programming on Victron. It's Victron Connect, Victron Configure, and then device management on Victron Portal. Right. So I'm going to go, well, there's all the information on Victron, normal Victron Energy. Then obviously Victron Professional will give you all the information on upcoming events, videos, blogs, events, online training. If you don't have training, you want to have online training or hands-on training, just follow the hands-on training. There's multiple hands-on training, training to present currently, and we'll do it next year as well. So, but if you want to get online training experience, you can go to online training, introduction to Multiplus. All the information is here. There's a small exam at the end of the webinar. It's a multiple choice exam, so don't need to break your head about it. If you do fail, just try it again. We don't know that you failed. It's only you that know you failed. The big thing is you need to pass to get the certificate first, and then proceed to all the other training. So advanced training will be your 3-phase, and then installation examples will be the vehicles, etc., etc., etc. All right. The Dropbox and the firmwares will ideal for Dropbox. If you connect Dropbox and you've got a remote site where you don't have access to internet, then you can obviously click and drag the firmware. But all the firmwares will be on your Victron Professional account. So register your Victron Professional account. As mentioned, it's free of charge. All the firmware updates and the latest firmwares will be on the Victron Professional portal. So if you do have or do want to do firmware update, you can go to your product code. For instance, you've got an IC that's 26, and then you obviously click onto it, and then from there, assistance, firmware, get the IC code, drag, and obviously do the firmware update, and you can carry on with Victron Configure. All right. So the rest is all repair docs, media, latest news, developers. This is all more advanced stuff. So if you don't have, if you're not a developer, don't even look into it. If you guys like, or any guy likes APIs or coding, this is ideal for you. You can go play with VRM API. There's multiple functions on that as well, but that's for more advanced training. All right, and then obviously check out the latest news. Latest news will give you the Victron Connect V5.96 small improvements. It will give you all the information on Victron and the latest firmwares. Obviously, it will give you all the latest information on the new upcoming products, the RS units, HV units that are coming up. So just keep a look on the latest news. All right, that's Victron Professional. Then obviously Victron Community. If you've got any questions, Before contacting your distributor, go to Victron community, and then from there, click in your whatever you need. Most probably, your question will already be resolved. The problem will already be resolved because there's multiple problems, and I see there's duplicates of problems. And if before you even try to contact your distributor or the installer, your question will be answered. All right. Any questions so far? Nothing. All right, Kyle, I think let's go to the programming.
Yep, that's good.
So AC coupled connection, you guys know how AC coupled connection looks like. I'm just going to go to the presentation quickly. If you have questions, I think it's a good time to ask them while I look for the file. Oh, there we go. So Victron, obviously, once you download it, you'll get 3 programs or 4 programs. You'll get vFlush, Victron Config, vBus System, and vBus Quick Setup. So obviously, with your Victron programs, there's multiple systems that you can do. There's normal AC coupled systems, there's normal DC coupled systems, and then there's normal backup systems. It depends on what you're looking for and what you want to or what's the main objective. So obviously, most people look for a normal backup system as such, and then afterwards they add on most probably modules on a DC coupled or AC coupled side. Sorry about that. So on a normal AC coupled system, can you kom hierdie ding nou nie display nie? Sorry, man. There we go. Yeah, it's loading. Kom nou. There we go. There we go. So normal, sorry about that, guys. Normal base public grid loads, no backup. Then you've got a grid tie system, either Fronius or ABB inverter. It depends on what you're looking for. There's multiple grid tie inverters on the market. So obviously, as you guys know, we communicate quite good with Fronius and ABB and Solar Edge. So all the other units, you can have them connected onto the output on an AC coupled system, but we prefer either Fronius, ABB, or Solar Edge. So this is a normal backup unit with a PV inverter connected into the input. So worst case scenario, power goes off for 3 days. Your backup system will not have power. You're going to need to have a generator connected. Obviously, the PV inverter, which is a grid tie inverter, it's voltage referenced. So as soon as the power drops, your grid tie inverter won't have power and it won't produce. Your PV modules won't be able to produce because there's no voltage reference. So it's a good system to reduce the total loads and have backup. But in our current load shedding scenario, it's not ideal. Then you can go to a normal AC coupled system. So AC coupled PV system is where you've got an energy meter connected onto the output or the input of Eskom, goes through the inverter, and your PV inverter is connected to the output. So yeah, you'll have your critical loads and non-critical loads, which is before the energy meter. It'll supplement the power when grid's available. But if grid's off, your non-critical load, which is here, won't have any power. But ideally, with the multi-plus or the quattros, there's AC output 2, which means is when your power or your PV module produces so much power that it charges the batteries and takes over the load, and there's an excess power, it can go back to the non-critical load if you have geysers or aircon or whatever the case may be. So that's an advantage. But yeah, AC coupled is ideal. Then before you do AC couple, you can do a normal DC coupled system as well. So a DC coupled system is just the inverter with a battery, and obviously your basic hybrid system with an MPPT and panels connected to it. So this is a normal AC coupled system, which is it's the most common system that we see in residential industrial systems. More industrial, commercial, agricultural systems, you'll have AC coupled systems. You'll have AC and DC coupled combination. So you'll have your DC input PV, you've got your PV inverter on the output, and you've got a DC coupled system. So this is the full Monty, obviously, and it'll provide your power needs. So the big question is how to program it. Once you've got everything set up, you can either do it single phase, it's 3-phase. Obviously, all you guys know, with a 5 kVA inverter, you can go up to 10 units per phase. If you've got a 3-phase system, you can have 10 units per phase, as I mentioned, and it can ramp up. With the 15 kVA, which is the largest unit we've currently got, you can go up to 6 inverters per phase. And then from there, 1-to-1 ratio with a grid tie inverter, you can't install a 100 KTL grid tie inverter onto a 45 kilowatt hybrid system. You'll cause damage. There's a dumping factor. For argument's sake, once your power produces 80 kilowatts, and all of a sudden the power goes from the consumption goes from 80 to 0 or 80 to 10, that 70 kilowatt needs to go somewhere, and it needs to either go to the batteries or go to the load. And if it can't go somewhere, it will blow up the transformer on the Victron inverter as such. All right, so bear in mind the AC coupled systems, 1-to-1 ratio. And yeah, don't overpopulate the inverter to produce more power that then the hybrid inverter can carry. Right, any questions? Nothing. Everybody comfortable? All right, so going to the programming, as mentioned, there's Victron Connect and there's Victron V Flush. Victron Connect, Victron Connect Configurator, V Flush, V System Quick Configurator, and V Quick Configurator. So V Flush is just a normal firmware update. So if you have the normal firmware update, it will ask you this program can be used. Let me do this. You see it. So this program, I can't carry on with it. Obviously, there's no demo unit. So V Flush, this program can be used to update the firmware on Victron device. Some devices can also be upgraded. Press start to continue. So obviously, you'll have your programming running with the Victron V Flush. Update the firmware. Once firmware is updated, you'll go to Victron Configurator, which is your programming configurator. Cancel this. Then you've got Victron Configurator. So on your Victron Configurator, you'll have fake target. So yeah, we'll create the fake target, obviously 48 when in SA, so you'll have 230-volt AC connected. So this is the display that you'll have on your PC. So this is the programming after successfully connected the MK3. You'll connect it to your inverter and connect it straight to your PC. It will link automatically, and obviously you'll have access to the VE bus connection. With the RS modules, the RS multis, you won't have an MK3. It's a all CAN protocol, not CAN. It's a VE direct protocol. So it's a cable communicate USB module communicates via USB to VE direct, and that links in, and you'll program the unit via either Victron configurator, or you'll program it via Victron Connect. Right, so on this side, you'll see on the left-hand side, you'll see the frequency out, the inverter voltage and inverter amps, then frequency in, voltage in, mains in, and then your VDC, which is your voltage on your DC bus on your battery. Your VDC ripple, that's the voltage that displays the ripple. So what a ripple is, if the cables are too small and not calculated correctly, you'll have a ripple DC, and that will create your inverters to toggle. So it will switch on and off, means that it can't handle the inrush current, and the ohm difference between, well, the voltage drop between the UDC to the inverter and the battery to the extent, so the inverters will toggle. Right, ignore AC, that's all settings, and auxiliary relay. That's your auxiliary relay on the inverter. Each inverter's got 5 free potential contact relays installed onto that. That's after your Cerebro or your GX device has already got 2 free potential contact relays, and then obviously after that your inverters each got 5. All right, general settings, system frequency. So in normal settings, 50 Hertz. If you live in the States, you'll select 60 Hertz. And yeah, so select 50 Hertz, sure limit, AC1 input current limit. So that depends on what's your AC input current limit. If you've got a 63 amp main breaker at the household, you can select 63 amp, it's fine. A Quattro obviously has got 2 AC inputs, 2 AC outputs. So ideally, AC1 will be your grid power coming in, it's priority. And AC2 input current limit, it's your generator. So it all depends on what you want to select it at. But if you have a generator, a lot of people's got a 63 amp breaker coming in, so you can select a 63 or 50. Boundaries will say 50, it's fine, keep it 50. AC2 input current limit. So if you've got a 5 kVA inverter, or not inverter, generator, you can't select it 50 amps because it's going to try to pull 50 amps. So once it's tried to pull 50 amps, it won't be able, your generator will start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Every time it wants to allow, it's going to try to pull 50 amp, and it's going to pull the generator, and then obviously your AVR will fluctuate in voltage, and it will reject the incoming power. So calculate the sizing of your generator, do the Ohm's law, see if it's a 8 or 10 kVA system generator, then select 10 kVA system, 40 amps, it's fine, ideal. If it's a 5, it can ideally provide you with 25, but put 16 or 20 amp, then it will allow the generator to provide power without the AVR fluctuating too much. The dynamic current limit, you can select it if you wanted to do the current limitation. And then external current sensor, if you want to have an external current sensor on a non-critical load to measure the volt or the amperage, you can do that as well. And an enable battery monitor. So with all this current third-party battery, well, lithium batteries, normally you don't need to enable battery monitor. If you install a BMV, which is a battery management system, or Victron BMV, you can select enable battery monitor. But it's not ideal to select it once you've got a third-party BMS monitoring the system. So best is to not enable it, but if you want to enable it, it's fine. So you selected 200 amp. It's just argument's sake. There's no system connected. This is just a demo configured system. Grid code. So obviously we in SA, so you'll go South Africa NRA standards. Okay, in order to make it possible to enable feeding power into the grid, one must select the country grid code standards. The initial selection of the country grid code standards will not require a password. You just say, okay. So yeah, you'll say AC input related settings, above selected grid code plus LOMB. So what's LOMB? LOMB is loss of main. Be compliant. So if you've got a bad AVR on your generator, you can select disable loss of main. Then you'll have to put in the ESS code, which you'll get at your distributor. If you're an authorized installer, you'll have the ESS code already. Okay. So this is just for argument's sake. If you've got different sites which doesn't comply with NRS standard, you can go select other. But whoever signs off the site needs to ensure that the municipality, Mbombela, Mbombela, Tshwane, or City Power, everybody is on the same page. You can't select a different code and it doesn't comply according to the regulation. All right. Next, inverter. So obviously with your inverter, each inverter's got an inverter output voltage will be 230, power assist, and then assist current boost factor. That's not, if you run ESS, it's not applicable. So you can just do power assist, you can switch it off. Then DC low shutdown depends on what battery you use. So if you use Solar MD, you can select Solar MD's parameters. If you use Freedom 1, you can use Freedom 1. So argument's sake, DC input low shutdown 47, and then DC input low restart. Normally it says 51. The reason why I don't select it 51, because in 51 it keeps on giving me alarms, and the battery is not even close to 20% SOC or 10% SOC. So normally if the low DC shutdown is 47, I'll select 48. And then the 48 voltage will have a DC input low restart, and DC input low pre-alarm will occur once it reaches 48 voltage for a certain amount of time. All right. Then this page, settings are complete. Charger. So yes, multiple settings. Enable charger. Select. If it's not selected, it won't charge. Battery parameters or battery type. There's multiple battery types: lithium iron phosphate, Victron smart lithium batteries, gel MK battery, gel Exide, A400, gel AGM Victron energy, gel Exide, flooded deep discharge, flat plated, AGM Victron deep charge, flooded tubular plate, and then red flow Z cell. So obviously we're going to use a lithium iron phosphate. Select the lithium iron phosphate, and we'll select the charging parameters. So you can enable weak AC inputs, stop after bulk, excessive bulk. This is old settings. So obviously your GX device that's connected to your system will take over the total communication. So it's irrespective if you're going to say stop after this excessive bulk, because all the parameters you'll be selecting on the GX device in anyway. So you can just leave it as is, leave it blank. Charge curve change to fixed due to the lithium iron phosphate on the C1 rating. Then, yeah, absorption voltage all depends on which battery, third-party battery you use. You use Solar MD, you use BSL, you use lithium iron, or Freedom 1. It all depends. I see there's multiple batteries on the market as we speak. So it all depends on what battery you use. So taking consideration, you use Freedom 1. You can select the 56, and I know the float voltage is also same parameters. So charge current, depending on which inverter you use. If you've got a three-phase system scenario where you need to select the charging current, and the charging current comes up, and you need to select the charging current on a three-phase scenario. If you've got a 200 or 500 kilowatt storage bank, you can't select each inverter 70, because each inverter is gonna start charging on 70 amps. So you need to take the total charging amps divided by 3 and select the charging amps. That's on a three-phase scenario, especially if it goes higher than the three-phase and you've got 6, or it stays three-phase and you've got 6 inverters. Take the total charging requirement divided by 6 inverters, and then each inverter's got that specific charging current that it needs to provide. Otherwise, you'll overcharge the battery, and then there will be differences, etc., and you'll run into all sorts of problems. All right, so charging depends on what size the battery is. You can select the charging current or the parameters. I'm just going to say 40 for argument's sake. And yeah, that's the total settings on the charger side. So repeated absorption time will be 1 hour, absorption time will be 1 hour. As you guys know, you get the 4 different stages of charge: bulk, absorption, float, and equalize. Equalize is only for the 2-volt cells, the all 2-volt cells units, where you need that high chemical reaction to take place for all the sulfate that's at the bottom of the battery to come to the top. But ideal, it's not necessary to select. It's not ideal to select the equalization charging mode. So you'll have absorption or bulk, which is your first stage, absorption, and then float, which indicates that the battery is full. All right. Virtual switch, this is all settings. So on ESS mode, you'll have do not use virtual switch. So once you select do not use virtual switch, you'll go assistance, add assistance. There's multiple systems that you can do, select, and yeah, once you selected it, you can program it. But most common ESS, start assistance. Then it tells you requirements. This assistance must be placed in a multi-quadro of the system. Read through all the parameters here, and you can proceed. So then it asks you battery system. Please select your system. And it asks you what battery are you currently using and what interface. So you'll have this system uses live PO4 with other type battery. So there's multiple units. So let's start from the top. System uses OPZ batteries. That's the 2-volt cell batteries. System uses gel or AGM. That's your old batteries, the 12-volt batteries. Gel is normal, the solid liquid. AGM is up close absorption glass mat. And then you've got system used LPO4, battery with a V bus BMS. This is local BMS. System uses LPO4 battery with two signal BMSs, which we don't use. And then system uses LPO4 with other type BMS, which is a third-party BMS, and that's the unit that you'll be selecting. Battery capacity already selected 200, so it's got the 200 selected. Reconfig battery type selection. So do not change battery type. Select do not change battery type, otherwise it will fluctuate and it will change battery type. All right, sustained voltage, you can either leave it on 50. It's ideal to leave it sustained voltage on 50, but obviously once your battery goes below 50, you'll get alarms on sustained voltage. Then cutoff voltage, you can leave at ease. Dynamic cutoff, you can leave at ease, but once it causes problems on low cutoff, you can change this all to 48. Inverter is allowed again when voltage rises to 1.2 volt above cutoff. Then PV inverter. This is essential, especially if you do have an AC coupled system. If you have an AC coupled system with Fronius connected or ABB or Solar Edge connected to the output, you'll say, yes, I do have Fronius, I do have an AC coupled system. Then you need to select the parameters. It already pre-selects the parameters. The solar converts will start reducing the power output on 52. So the inverter will provide 50 hertz. Once it goes up to 52, it will start reducing. So normally I'll go to 50.35. Output power will be reduced to minimum when the frequency goes to 52.7. So once the inverter's output frequency starts increasing, it will limit the power, the PV inverter to reduce the total power output. So it's quite effective. So you need to ensure that the parameters are set correctly. Otherwise, your AC coupled system won't work accordingly. So the converter will disconnect when the frequency is higher than 53. Then it will just say overruled. The PV inverter will say overruled by GX, and it won't produce any PV power at any stage. All right, total power installed PV power. This is the 1-to-1 ratio. So if you've got a 15 kVA hybrid system connected, you can't go and install a 20 kilowatt PV inverter. You'll pop the inverter. If you can do that, but then you need to, if you populate the inverter, the modules, you can't exceed 15 kilowatts. So you can go higher on a grid tie inverter, but you need to bear in mind the 1-to-1 factor. So ideal to be safe, don't go higher than a certain, well, don't go higher than the high inverter. The power please enter the total power of the connected PV inverter and the total power of the connected PV panels. See also factor 1 rule, which indicates 1-to-1 rule. All right, so if you've got a PV inverter installed, it's a 10 kilowatt quattro, you can say, okay, you've got a 8 kilowatt total PV inverter installed. And there your ESS settings are done. Once your ESS settings are done, your parameters are complete. You don't need to go into advanced. You can just go back to general, double check all your settings. You can go to file, save settings, save it on your file, whatever you've got a code selected to a client, save it to a file, send setting, or then you can say send settings and keep that file somewhere close to the client's name or in a file where you know you saved it. Once the client's got queries, you can just send him the file and say this is all the settings that you guys did send. So that's Victron Connect or Victron Configure. This is the not the easiest way to program. Victron Connect is much easier, but this is the old school vConfigure programming scenario. All right, once this is done, this is just for a single system. On a 3-phase system, you'll have Victron V Quick Configure. It says V Bus Quick Configure version 90.1, 90.10.154. The program can be used to quickly set up small V bus systems up to 3 units. So this is just for 3-phase units with 3 inverters. If you have more than 3 inverters, you'll be using V Bus System Configurator, which I'll quickly show you now. So next, you'll just say the requirement action, set up V bus, change settings on V or settings of an existing V bus system, reset multi-standalone, open dialog. So set up system, then it'll ask you select requirements, whether you want to parallel inverters or you want to have a 3-phase inverters. Depends on what you want to do. So normally 3-phase systems, then it connects. You need to connect to a system. There's no demo market here. And then once you say select, it will, let's go back, connect, you'll connect to the inverters. The setup by, to set up a BUS system, a bus system, and MK3, MK2 or MK3 is required. And connect all multis and the MK2 together via the RJ45 connector and the supply cables. Do not use the splitter box. So obviously it's just the MK2 with the daisy chains between the 3 inverters. Once it's daisy chained, you can connect and then start the programming. It asks connect MK2 to the PC and select the correct COM port below. It will auto detect. We'll say demo mode. Then your demo system will be switched. It tells you all the inverters need to switch off. All devices, including a remote panel, must be switched off. Since you choose demo mode, a screen is open on the multis. These multis are, there is the demo mode. Then you can select, okay, this is the demo system that's connected to the multis. So once you switch on inverter 1, it will go blue. Inverter 2, it will go blue. Multi 3 will go blue. And then it says done. Happy with the settings, and you can go next. No, it doesn't want to. Okay. So yeah, this is the basic setup of a demo system on setting up a normal 3-phase system. Once you want to go more advanced, you can go to the V bus systems. This is with inverters more than 3 units. As normal configure, V bus system configurator, and once you select this, you can program more than 3 units. Exactly the same principle. All the inverters will display on the top side, and then you can click and drag. But I think I'll go more in depth and have a demo system connected. And then once I've got that, then we can start with it. So connect the demo multis. This is all the demo units that I just displayed. From there, if you've got all the quadros connected here, you'll click on it and you'll say, okay, system 1, system 2, system 3. So, but this is more advanced programming settings. All right. So yeah, that's basic programming settings on Victron Connect, Victron Configure, vFlush, and vBus Quick Configurator. All right. Any questions so far? Kyle?
From my side, it's all good.
Good, guys. Happy with what you heard?
Yep.
All right. So yeah, I think that's basic settings. It's much more. It's easier once you've got all the information or the inverters as such in front of you than just seeing it on a PC. So ideally, it's hands-on training for programming and setting up the units. It's easier, but let's get a demo system next training. Then I'll have cameras available, and then yeah, just show you guys how it works and what it entails. All right. Any questions?
So there's
Jason?
nothing in the chat.
I see Jason also joined. All right, guys, that's all. Yeah, all that I think we I provided all the information on the previous ESS settings. What about hubs? Or we'll explain hubs on a later stage. Hubs is when you've got a PV inverter that's not compatible with the Victron, and you need to program it in via hub 1, hub 2, or hub 4. But with the energy meters, that's not necessarily anymore. So ESS, you can select multiple other units as well. So if you've got a scenario where a client's got an SMA or a different grid tie inverter, it's not a chain smash. You can install an energy meter onto the output of the PV inverter, and then just select it via that, and then just run exactly the same parameters that I just mentioned, and then it will still frequency shift. So that's the abbreviation. It's frequency shift for AC coupled system, to reduce the PV power when the power is not needed. So that reduces the dumping factor out. So there won't be any dumping that causes issues via the inverters or the DC source. All right. Any questions? Nothing. All right, Carl, I'm done.
Yep, cool. Thank you, Arman.
Right.
It was informative.
Thanks, guys. Sorry about the delay. I got through out with the bad Wi-Fi. So then I had to go look for my files again.
No problem.
All
Once you went
right.
onto your hotspot, everything was fine.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it
Cool.
and appreciate your time. Is there any guys that wants to have more advanced training? So obviously, I know everybody's busy, especially with the load shedding schedules, and everybody needs to get to installs, etc., etc. So if you want to have later or late evening trainings where we can go more into depth and we're not time restrained, I can schedule a late night, like not late night, but like 5 to 7, or for argument's sake, then we can arrange that.
All right, perfect. Yeah. I think then shall we share your email address then, or do you want to?
No, let's
yeah.
work directly through IBC.
Cool. We'll do that then.
Right.
All right. So we'll just we'll just drop a mail to
Just
the
do
attendees.
just do an RFQ. Speak to Zane, do an RFQ, and ask who's interested in the late night trainings, and then yeah, we can schedule. Zane will be in contact with me, and then we can sign it up.
Perfect.
All right. Perfect. Thanks, Carl. Appreciate it.
Right.
Thanks, guys. Have
Thanks,
a good
Arman.
week.
Thanks, everyone.
Good luck. Short week.
You guys too.
All right. Cheers, then.
Cheers then. Bye.
Bye.